how to nurture conviction in your child. The other day on Facebook, I posed a question. Very many Christian homes, children, preteens and teenagers, they don't eat before they go to church. Parents just want them to fast, to learn how to fast. And I asked the question, why is it so? Why do parents don't allow their preteens, teenagers to eat to church, their children also? And I got responses like, oh, our parents forced us to do it, so we are doing it. Because it's almost a force, because it is not as if the child doesn't want to eat, you just don't want the child to eat, so it's a force. So someone else responded that, oh, children don't like to do chores, they don't like to do things, even read their books and all of that, so they don't like to fast. These things, because they are important, you have to force them, because you are the parent, you have to force them. Nah, forcing. Have you ever wondered, if you're a Christian parent watching me, have you ever wondered why very many children, they get to school, they become teenagers, they get to school, they get to higher institutions, and when it's Sunday, they stay back at home, they are pressing their phones. That is when they know they want to do their laundry. That is when they know they want to press their phones, they want to read books and all of that. Have you ever wondered? Yes, these are the same children you forced to church, the same children you forced to pray, the same children you forced to fast. You now wonder why it happened. So because they were never convinced. They were never convinced. We see a lot of things happen. Children, oh, you saw this child is raised by this parents and all of that. No, when they are away from home is a different ball game. One of the reasons is that these children were never convinced. So as a parent, force is never an option, should never be an option in your parenting. You know what? Force may seem like it is giving you results on the surface, momentarily, but I tell you something, that it is not deep rooted. And when it is not deep rooted, it's like a seed planted on a sandy soil, on the sand. Once it's not deep rooted, the first wind that blows it away. The child is not convinced. That thing you are trying to nurture in your child by force is not deeply rooted. It is not reaching the heart of the child. So the first temptation, the first freedom the child gets, the first wind that blows, it is blowing it away, because it was planted on a sandy soil. Force is a sandy soil. I hope you get it. Okay, my name is Enemy Orebo, and this is Parenting with Enemy Orebo. Today, at the end of the day, you are going to be learning how to nurture conviction in your child. It is just the purpose of this class today, for you to remove force from your parenting. I'm not going to do this video. I'm not going to spend my time talking about force, why force is not an option. Maybe I'll do it on live on Facebook, or I'll find another way around it. But today is how to nurture conviction in your child, so that at the end of the day, come rain, come shine, your child is convinced of your values. Your child understands why they are supposed to do certain things, and they are doing it. Now, as usual, if you are here, I hope you have your writing materials, your pen, your paper, because it's about to get transformational. It's about to change your mind shift. So yes, get your writing materials and let's get started. How to nurture conviction in your child with Enemy Orebo on Parenting with Enemy Orebo, powered by the Visionary Parent Academy. Number one, you want to nurture conviction in your child. Keep it true. 247, keep it true. If you're a parent of toddler, you are so in luck. You see, make sure you are always sincere, always keeping it true. See those empty threats you make, throw them away. You see empty promises you have no intention to fulfill, trash them. You see how you paint pictures, how you say things, oh, because maybe you don't have the right answers, you now tell your child a lie. Trash them. You know why? Because you are the one that want to nurture conviction in your child. For you to be able to do that, you have a trust bank. Your trust bank with your child needs to be full. Your trust account, you have a trust account with your child. We have different accounts with every human being. You have trust account, you have respect account, you have a lot of accounts. I'm going to talk about this another time. You have trust account with your child. So for your child to be able to trust you, that your trust account needs to be full. It needs to be full. So each time you tell a lie to your child, whether you are making a fake promise you have no intentions of keeping, whether you are making empty threats, whether you are just, your child comes to ask you a question, and because You don't. I always say to parents in the Visionary Parent Academy, it's never an emergency. When it comes to being emotionally intelligent, it's not only about being angry or not being angry. You need to make sure that the response you want to give is actually what you want your child to get. It aligns with your vision, your values. It's not just some random questions. Your child will ask you a question, because maybe the question is so heavy for you, or you were not prepared. You will just give one answer like that. Your child is going outside to get. Your child may believe you for now. Tomorrow, your child learns the real answer outside. What happens? Your child begins to have issues, trust issues with you. They will not trust you. And once your child cannot trust you, how can you convince them? Nah, you cannot convince your child. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you are always keeping it true with your child. Speak the truth. There is always an age-appropriate way to explain something. Keep it true all the time. Don't make promises you cannot keep. Don't make threats you have no intentions of seeing true. Don't tell lies. Some parents, oh my gosh, you are not telling your child a lie, but you are lying in the presence of your child. No matter how insignificant it may seem, you are depleting your child's trust bank with you. And once that trust bank is depleted, I tell you, your child will find it difficult to trust you. If your child doesn't trust you, you cannot convince your child. You cannot convince them. So you must learn to say the truth all the time. Number 2, sell the benefit of that thing to your child. Human beings are naturally wired selfish. If it benefits us, it's easier for us to go for it. What is in it for us? Yes, what is in it for us? What do I stand to gain? Tell your child what they stand to gain. If they uphold certain values, if you say, okay, don't tell lies, what do I stand to gain if I don't tell lies? Telling lies, it makes it easy for people not to trust you. When people don't trust you, they have a big boundary. You are not welcome to pass a certain boundary. When people don't trust you, they can't give you responsibility. They will not partner with you. They will not go far with you. When they don't trust you, they will not have a certain kind of relationship with you that may benefit you. When people don't trust you, when something goes wrong, they are going to say, oh, this boy, we can't trust him. People can't vouch for you. People can't defend you because they do not trust you. So you want to set the benefit of that thing, that value, that thing you want your child to, the habit you want your child to learn, the behavior you want your child to stop, the value, anything at all you want your child to fast. Sell the benefit to your child. Fasting is a requirement. It's something that Christians do. It's a way you talk to God. Why do you need to talk to God? You talk about it. Why do you need to develop a relationship with God? You tell your child, how does developing a relationship with God benefit your child? You are going to do all of that. That is how you sell the benefit to your child. Maybe I'll do a video another time to talk about how to sell benefits to your child. So you want to stay with us on this channel because we have a lot of amazing things coming your way. 3, anchor it on a bigger purpose. Yes, your child has a vision, right? This is something I've come to do. I started doing not too long ago. I'll also teach my teenagers or something like that. I link, the everyday behaviors you expect from them, like attention to details. I link it to their bigger purpose. Let me give you a practical example. My daughter, for the longest time ever, since she started reading following Ben Carson, she wants to be a neurosurgeon. And I noticed something about her. She struggles with organization, attention to details, and sometimes she puts something here and she's looking for it. Things are supposed to be here, or she knows that, okay, when you finish, you clear your mess. She's done clearing her mess. She's struggling. She doesn't remember. You have to tell her, go back and clear your mess. You tell her, okay, turn off the light as soon as you come out of your room. She leaves the light on and all of that. Those are a bit, those are areas she needs to be more organized. So how do you tie it to purpose? I'm telling her that you want to be a neurosurgeon, for example. As a neurosurgeon, you need to be attentive to details. You can't afford to be forgetful. And I give her examples. There are cases we have heard several times of doctors leaving surgical instruments inside a patient. I've heard cases of doctor leaving blades, scissors, and all of that inside the stomach of a patient that now became something else. Now that is it. So for you to be organized, for you to pay attention to details, it's not because mommy says so. It's actually because it will help you in your career path. It will help you in life to be attentive to details, So tie it to purpose. That is one thing you need to do. What is that thing you actually want your child to either stop doing or start doing? You don't need to force it. Just tie it to purpose. It gives them a strong why and it motivates them. It gives them the conviction. Another thing you want to do is you want to increase the voices in your child's head. What is that thing you want your child to learn? What is that thing you want your child to get into? You want to increase the number of voices that actually say that thing and say them positively. You want to get mentors for your children. You want to make sure the school are schools that are morally upright, that they are on the same page with you, that they can preach what you are preaching. There's a question I asked a long time ago. I always wonder why these religious fanatics, especially I remember there was a time where a girl was mobbed, to the extent that she passed, and I think Deborah or something like that from, I don't remember the state. I was wondering, why are they so, to the extent that because of what they believed in, they could do that to another human being. And I realized one thing, it is because of the voices in their heads. A typical northern child who is a Muslim, I dare say, they go to school where they teach these things. Their families teach these things. Then their schools teach these things, and they go to mosque where they teach these things. At the end of the day, they live in an environment where these things are constantly reinforced. So they think it, they breathe it, they live it. It makes a lot of sense to them. They are convinced. You know why? Because the voices around them are speaking the same language. Now, it is why I say to parents, you cannot afford not to have your preteens and your teens in mentorship classes, especially with coaches who know exactly what they are doing. Coaches who align with your own vision, your own purpose as a parent, your own goals, your own values as a parent. They will speak the language you are speaking. Then your child goes to church. They hear that same thing the coaches are saying, you are saying. They go to school. They hear that same thing the coaches are saying, you are saying. You live in an environment where one or two parents also have their children in church, in school, in mentorship programs where they are speaking the same thing. Now, they are speaking the same languages. Now, these children become friends. What do you think happens? It's easier for them to believe, to be convinced. So, increase the voices in their heads. Model it. Leave it. You can't be preaching and you are not modeling it. What is that thing? I hear parents say, oh, your integrity is your value. And you lie. You tell lies. Oh gosh. Especially parents who run petty business. You cannot say integrity is your value and you are telling petty lies. You see parents say, oh, I bought this in 1,000 naira. I cannot afford to sell it less than 1,200 naira. Another person will still come and buy. I bought this in for 800 naira. I cannot afford to sell it less than 900 naira. The same thing. Your child is there watching you. The same thing you told your child you bought it 10,000 naira. You can only sell it for 11,000 naira. The same thing you are telling another person you bought it for 9,000 naira. You can only sell it for 10,000 naira. Your child is there. Tomorrow you are calling your child a liar. You are wondering where your child got to learn to tell lies from you. You think, oh, you are doing business. Yes, I get it. But your child is learning. It is more than business. Your child is actually learning. They are watching you. You are on the phone. You tell someone, oh, I'm coming. You are not anywhere. Your child is there. They are learning from you. So integrity cannot be your value when you are constantly telling lies. Or you cannot tell your child, no. You have boundaries. You don't say no to peer pressure. Be strong. Be bold enough to say no to peer pressure. When you are a people pleaser, your child sees how you go about pleasing people. Even when it's not convenient for you, you are pleasing people. You hide it under the coverage of, oh, I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian. I'm a peacemaker. Your child is seeing through you, seeing that you are not just a Christian. You are not a peacemaker. You are just a people pleaser. And you want your child to be able to stand up for themselves outside, to be able to say no to peer pressure. No, you have to model it. You are not modeling it, your child is not learning. It is what it is. You are not modeling it, your child is not learning. So what is that thing you want to teach your child? You need to model it. You need to live it. Show an example in your everyday life. Live it. Expose your child to role models. Yes, there are people who have walked that path before, who have whatever you want to teach your child. There are people who have walked that path and it has favored them. There are people who are recognized for walking certain paths. Expose your children to them. These days, children have all sorts of role models everywhere. You know, you ask your child who is a role model, they are likely going to say, oh, Davido. And you see, Davido has 101 baby mamas, and that is not your vision. That is not what you want your child to learn. Unfortunately, that is what your child is seeing as their role model. So what do you want to do? Expose your child to a role model. As a parent, you should have an inspiration word. You know, that thing you want your child to learn. If there are people that are living that path, you want to get their pictures, get quotations from them, just put them on your inspiration wall so that your child knows that, hey, this is actually possible. Because when your child they're not seeing people that are actually living that life, then it's almost like, why do you want me to do this? You know, why do you want me to do this? Like, there's a common saying now that education is a scam. Not necessarily education, like maybe furthering your education, going to higher institution is a scam and all of that. Now they now come with the argument that because, do you blame them? Going to higher institution is primarily for economic empowerment. Now they've seen a lot of people who didn't have to go to higher institution, yet they are better economically empowered than people who actually went to school. So what do you want to do? Because education is a core value for you, and you want your children to be educated, not just half-baked. So what do you want to do? You want to now look for people who are so successful, who education have so much empowered. You want to make them your children's role model. Get their pictures, put them somewhere where your children can always easily see. Put their achievement, put their educational qualification, put the journey they had to go through, put them there. Get role models for your children. Let them see that, okay, these people inspired them, these people did these things, so it is possible to do these things. Show proof. Yes, what is that thing? Show proof. Show proof why it is important. Show proof why your child should actually take it seriously. Show proof. Yes, remember the story of David and Saul, when David wanted to take down Goliath. You know, when David went to meet Saul, that, okay, I want to fight Goliath, and Saul looked at him and said, really, you tiny human being, have you seen a giant? David gave him proof. My name is David. I've killed bears, I've killed lions, I shepherd my father's flock in the forest. A tiny creature like me. Do you know the forest I go to? I go to XYZ forest. That is a den of lions, a den of bears. No one goes there and comes back, but I do. I go there, I come back. So show proof. Show your children proof. Yes, you want them to be convinced. Where are the people living that life? It's just like getting them role models. Where are the people living that life? What is the proof that, because they have dreams, right? They have aspirations. Remember, we said tie it to purpose. They have dreams, they have aspirations, they have visions. So what are the people living that life? What is the proof? Yes, so show proof. These days, it's not hard to get proof. Just go to Google and add somewhere XYZ and you get a lot of proof. So show proof. People around you, people they know, who are living the path you want them to live, and the people are doing well. They have an admirable life. They have the kind of life you know your children admire. So let the people be their proof. Show proof. You see stories on trending stories on social media every day. Show proof. Bring it. See what happened to this person. You know, a lot of stories sharing every single day on social media. If your child, you have a teenager is already going to the route of scam, you don't want it. Shop, they say, this person here, oh, he's doing yahoo, nothing has happened, nobody has caught him, he's a big boy. People are caught every day. So look for them. Show proof. You're always on social media. Get proof. Show your child proof. People around you, show them proof. Social media, show them proof. Show proof. That is how you convince a person. Show proof. As a Christian, again, you know the story of Apostle Paul in the Bible, when he was Saul, when he was going to persecute the Christians. Yes, what did God do? God showed him proof of his power, and that was how Apostle Paul became convinced that, hey, if someone had maybe talking to him, he may not have had that speedy conviction like he had. So what do you want to do? Show proof. Teach them information evaluation. Teach them to evaluate information, every piece of information they get. There are so many information out there that are contrary what you are teaching them, what you want them to learn. And if they don't know how to pause and evaluate information, they would just be they will just be swallowing everything hook, line, and sinker. During Christmas time, I shared this video on my Facebook and TikTok. If you are not following me, please go and follow me on Facebook and TikTok. Enimia Orebo. So I had an argument with someone over a certain topic, a common topic, you know, and he was trying to convince me. He went to history research, was telling me this used to be the trend, this used to be the trend, this used to be the trend. Now a realization now kind of gave way for this and all of that. I too, initially I was like, nah. I paused and I also evaluated the information. I too went back to history, brought out facts. It was fact versus fact. This was the trend, and this used to be the trend. Now this is no longer the trend. What do you have to say? Yes, I shared the video details on Facebook and TikTok, Instagram perhaps. That is the thing. If your children do not know how to evaluate information, they will just run with everything they see, and that is it. And there are so many information out there that are deliberately designed to counter what you want them to learn. I hope you know that. So you want to teach them to evaluate information, and they can't evaluate information if they are not independent thinkers, if they don't think for themselves. If you are always forcing them, you always want to force your opinion on them, you always want them to do things your way, you know, it has to be forced. They don't have a say. It has to be what you're saying. Of course, I know you are the parent, you are wiser, but then because you want to nurture certain skills in them, please let them have an opinion, let them have a say, let them boldly ask you questions, let them ask you the whys and the whys of it not. Now this is how you are going to nurture information evaluation skills in them, so that at the end of the day you are able to convince them. Because when the world brings that information that counters your own, they are able to wear their thinking cap, evaluate it, and see who is right. Allow natural consequences. As a parent, don't force anything. Don't force anything. Allow natural consequences. Of course, you are going to teach your child. Don't underrate the power of teaching. Teach them. Take your time every now and then to teach them. You know, tell them consequences. Tell them whys, why they shouldn't, why they should, why they shouldn't, why they should. After telling them, then leave them alone. But I know it's not in every case, really. There are some cases that you need to step in. You know, like I was telling them in the Visionary Parent Academy. I have not talked about that. Let me tell you about the Visionary Parent Academy. It's an academy where parents are empowered with skills and knowledge to parent the child of today. We've come to the realization that, see, we need to parent better. Things are different. Things are just super different. So the Visionary Parent Academy is an academy that empowers you with practical skills. It is a vibrant academy that you need to be. It's a yearly academy. A registration fee is just a token, and it's a steal for what you stand to gain. We have challenges every month, master classes, and you are part of it in the academy. You are not asked to come and pay. Last month we had emotions mastering class, and guess what? Members of the academy took it for free. Now this month we are creating your family system. We're having a challenge because at the end of this month, every member of the academy is supposed to be able to create their family structure. That is the goal. That is the goal for this month. And as I always tell them, once they take action, they are going to get results. So it's an academy you want to be. It is very empowering. I cannot begin to tell you some of the things you stand to benefit when you join the academy. If you are a member of the Visionary Parent Academy, if you are a visionary parent and you are watching these videos, please just put information down so that other people can know that what we do there, we don't play. No, we don't play. So what was the point I was trying to share? I said, let them learn the natural consequences of their actions. You want to teach your children. Yes, take your time to teach them. Teach them. After teaching them, if it is not an emergency, if it is not life-threatening, if their life doesn't depend on it, then leave them. Let them learn the natural consequences of their action. That is one way they will build trust. That is one way you are depositing into their trust bank with you. Remember, you have said, don't do this, and they go ahead to do it. They are now facing the consequences. They will believe you now. They will trust you because mommy said this thing leads to this. And because I did not do this, I actually led to what mom said it will lead to. So they will learn to trust you. You are not forcing. It's just the natural consequences of their actions, the logical ones that they are facing. So don't hover around them. Don't prevent them from natural consequences. Again, has to do with not forcing them. Allow them make decisions. Because if you are always forcing your child, you are always making decisions for your child, it's about you. It's about you. Because think about it. If you so much, why do you bother so much? Why are you stressing yourself over me? If it's so much about my life, really about me, so why don't you leave me alone? Leave me, it's my life, let me face it. You know, that is it. I understand you care, but there are decisions that you don't have to force on your child. Every single time you are forcing your child, no, let them make some decisions. If there are consequences, they will face it. You don't always have to force them. Let them make decisions. Let them face the consequences. That way your child understands that it is not about you, it is about them. Again, I said teach them. So when you teach them, yes, you teach them the whys, you teach them the why nots. They learn it. If they want to go ahead and try it, I'm gonna see for myself. Let them see for themselves. By the time they see for themselves, they realize that what mommy said is true. What daddy said is true. Guess what happens? It's easier for them to believe every other thing we are saying. It's easier for them to now convince them, because you have a track record for saying the truth. So it's easier for them to believe you. So don't always take decisions for them. Let them take decisions by themselves. Let them do things. You know, especially if when you know that these decisions they want to take, they have some kind of consequences. Let them take it. Let them experiment. They may not learn the first time, I tell you, but 2-3 times down the line, they will learn and they will say, aha, mommy actually said this. It helps you build or nurture conviction in your child. Lastly, teach them. Take your time to always teach them. Not just what you want them to learn. Sit down and look at the obstacles, you know, that may come in the way of what you want them, what you are trying to nurture, and begin to teach them about people, how people behave, why people do the things they do, why they make the choices they make. This is super important. Teach them why people make the choices they make. Sometimes people are coming from a particular place, and that place will help them form their perception. You know, people are coming from ignorance. People are coming from baggages. They are coming from bitterness. They are coming from brainwash. Someone has brainwashed them. They are not always coming from a place of, people are not always coming from a place of genuine knowledge. So now these people are coming from porous environment, porous homes, porous. These people some people have been tampered with. Something has happened to them. These things now form who they are. So they now come with that thing and try to sell those things, those thoughts, those ideas that are born from where they are coming from. They want to sell it to you. So as a child who knows where you two are coming from, you have been fed with adequate knowledge. You have the ability to evaluate information. You understand where people are coming from, or the psychology around people's decisions, mindset, perceptions, and all of that. You should be able to always sit down and evaluate your information. Teach them where people are coming from, how people form their opinions, how people form their mindset, where people are generally always coming from. So they will know that, okay, this person is coming from XYZ, this person and I, we necessarily don't have the same, because a lot of things influence people's perception, people's opinion, people's mindset. And that mindset, that perception, that opinion is going to influence the decisions people are going to make, how they are going to talk to you, their convictions and everything. And if you don't understand this and you just follow them, you will realize that at the end of the day, you are doing what is not necessarily right or what you should not be doing. So teach them basic things as this. Let them understand where people are coming from. Many people are not coming from a sane background. Many people are not coming from a healthy background. So their arguments, their perceptions may not be very whole, may not be wholesome, may not be healthy. So your children need to understand these things. Now, when they understand these things, it is easier for them to always pause and evaluate information. This brings me to the end of today's class, how to nurture conviction in your child. I hope you learned something. I tell you, these things I shared there are not things you are going to get online. They're not things you are going to Google. They are a product of my research, by research working and listening to humans like you and I, you know, how they got to get the R and all of that. So these are some of them. There are a lot more. I'm going to be sharing a lot more in the Visionary Parent Academy, and we're going to be breaking them down into every single day pattern, every single day lifestyle, behaviors, actionable steps, so that we can nurture conviction in our children at the end of the day. Again, you want to join us in the Visionary Parent Academy, I tell you, is a place you want to be. Do you know about the Boss of Me magazine? Yep, you should get a Boss of Me magazine. Talking about increasing the voices in your child's head, the Boss of Me magazine is a magazine that is designed to partner with you in your parenting. Now, it's something, it's a mentorship magazine, interactive mentorship, self-leadership magazine for your child. So you want to get it to increase the voices in your child's head. Remember, this is the Visionary Parent Academy. You know, this was brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy, and my name is Enimi Rebel. If you are new here, thank you for finding us. You want to subscribe, you want to leave your comments, ask your questions, and most especially ask how you can join us in the Visionary Parent Academy. See you next time. Bye bye.